the Director of EdTech Hub, the representative of the World Bank, Professor Tim Unwin, distinguished guests at this launch, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank you, Professor Tim, for your invitation for me to join you at this launch. However, I wish to apologize for not being present today. It is indeed a pleasure for me to speak at this launching of the report on how using digital technology can help the education of the most marginalized in our societies, a marginalization which has been aggravated by the still raging COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to commend each and every person who has been involved in the research and putting together of this report. Whereas the impact of the pandemic on all our communities cannot be overstated, its effect on those on the margins of society, particularly the young learners, is especially concerning. As a former Uganda Cabinet Minister of Information and Communication Technology, I just know how useful this report is, particularly for African governments. A critical mission for us is how to find ways through which digital technologies can be used to help provide education for those who need it most, especially at this time of limited resources for education and a rapidly growing young population. With education information readily available online and the closure of physical schools because of the pandemic, the report has identified new opportunities to make learning easier and more accessible. The collaborative work that preceded this report sought to raise awareness and to come up with a toolkit for the effective use of digital technology in education for those in urgent need. I believe this has successfully been achieved, and I'm honored to be part of this work. The report is well written and structured, providing clear guidance for government officials and other stakeholders on how to implement practical actions. It is a detailed, compelling read covering all relevant areas of research. The executive summary and guidance notes highlight the most important steps by which governments can implement effective use of digital technologies in crafting resilient education systems for the future. Let me once again say that I have been impressed by the collaborative and consultative style of this report. With 43 women and 44 men from 34 African countries, many in Africa being involved, it's a prime example of how teamwork and partnerships are vital. To me, this is not just some report produced externally. It is one that has been produced with representation of African voices. But I'm not surprised. I have known Professor Tim for many years, especially at the time when he was at the helm of the Commonwealth Telecommunications Union. I clearly remember the total commitment he exuded towards Africa's ICT development. Finally, let me say this. This report deserves to be read and used by everyone concerned with finding sustainable and resilient ways through which digital technologies can be used to ensure equitable education systems across the world. I'm aware many governments, including African governments and regional bodies, have launched various digital for development initiatives. That's fine. But I am also aware that for others, it's still work in progress. This report will definitely supplement that work, and especially the work of education ministries in their digital agendas and in addressing the poor and marginalized, especially in the post-COVID-19 pandemic period. I wish you a successful launch.